The fact is, in too many parts of this country, a deep distrust exists between law enforcement and communities of color. Some of this is the result of the legacy of racial discrimination in this country. And this is tragic because nobody needs good policing more than poor communities with higher crime rates.
My reaction was obviously, I had expected that it would happen, so I was just a bit blasé about it at the beginning. The more I started thinking about it, I think two things happened. One, I know it sounds very selfish, but I have a black brother. He's growing up in a black society now, but I'm scared that when he comes to the UK or when he moves to America, he won't understand that he's now seen as a black man, as an animal. That really scared me. Secondly, I felt, I'm half white, my mom's family's American, and for one of the first times in my life I felt really guilty that people who were related to me had created the system, were benefiting from the system. I'm indirectly benefiting from it, and so I can feel angry at it, but at the same time I'm benefiting from it. But yeah, and I just don't know how things are going to change, and I don't think things are going to change, so I feel a bit of despair.
For me, I don't think it was the judge that made a wrong decision in the eyes of the law. I feel as though the law itself is what brought about a bad decision. I don't think, like looking at it as a black and white situation, the judge probably followed the rules and followed the steps in place. I can't really comment on the evidence because I have no clue what happened that day, but just on the face of it, those are my feelings.
And do you have something to say on the mentality of how people approach black people in America in general? That you were saying before?
Definitely, because there's a lot of emotion in it. Like me as a black person, I try to take out the emotion when I think about these things because it's easy to just cloud your thoughts and not look at it sort of pragmatically. So I feel obviously there is going to be a lot of unrest and so on, but it's just about challenging that in the right way as opposed to just using violence and stuff.
I think there's a big problem with the over-militarization of the police in the US, but I think maybe the Michael Brown case has got a bit overblown. Like listening to the account of the officer himself, it sounds like there's a lot more to the issue than it's been portrayed in the media so far.
It is not a problem with the legal system, which seems to be what they're kicking off about. It's a problem with the fundamental laws in the US.
I think the Michael Brown case is an absolute disgrace because the prosecutor, he only needed probable cause to get an indictment, and I mean 12 gunshot wounds and an unarmed teenager. That's how much more probable cause do you need, really? So that's what I think.
I think it's wrong. I think it shows elements of institutionalized racism. So like, it's more or less the fact that it doesn't matter who's black, it doesn't matter who's white, it's the fact that he was unarmed and he was shot. So you shot an unarmed person 6 times, so there's no excuse for that.
I won't comment on the verdict itself. What I will comment on is this morning outside the LSE library, a lot of people were protesting. I think it's interesting that this is a verdict that's caused such discontent that transatlantically people are contesting it. So whether or not the law was properly followed, evidently it's not a popular decision, and that has to have a reason. So it'd be interesting to consider that.